Welcome back. In today's lecture, I am going to talk about the basic philosophy of Lyapunov direct method, and we are going to see that what is meaning of Lyapunov direct method. And this method, Lyapunov direct method, is again connected with the epsilon delta stability, whatever we learned in the previous two classes, and to some kind of different methodology where what is our philosophy that I am not going to solve the differential equation, and without solving the differential equation again I can talk about the stability, asymptotic stability or exponential stability. In this course I am going to limit myself on these three classes of stability, and obviously I am going to talk about the stability, global stability and local stability, depending on the situation where my initial condition and output is going to output means futuristic trajectory is going to lie. Okay, so let us start the today's lecture. So if you see the basic philosophy of the Lyapunov, whatever written in their thesis, Lyapunov thesis, that the Lyapunov philosophy is basically based on some kind of physical observation. So he just translated physical observation into some kind of mathematical, rigorous mathematical formulation, you can tell, because and now if you see the nonlinear control literature, most of part of nonlinear control literature is dominated by the Lyapunov method. Okay, so what is that basic philosophy? So philosophy is basically like this, that the total energy, so total energy, I am talking about mechanical system, I am going to talk about the electrical system. Most of time if you see whatever result that is given by Lyapunov, so basically that is for mechanical system. Okay, and later people has extended that result for electrical system just by analogy. And what is basic observation, that if total energy of mechanical system means kinetic energy or potential energy, similarly here also by analogy I can tell that in electrical system I have some kind of kinetic energy plus potential energy. If that is continuously dissipated, then system, whether the system is linear and non-linear. So you can see that here in Lyapunov method they are not going to distinguish between linear and non-linear system. They are telling that you can take any system, either that is linear and non-linear, same philosophy will apply, that if total energy is continuously dissipating, then what happens, eventually that system trajectory is going to settle down to the equilibrium point. Okay, and basically that kind of things we need, that if I am at equilibrium point, then I am going to maintain at equilibrium point. Equilibrium, why I am going to maintain at equilibrium point? Suppose that my air conditioner is working at 18 degree, and what basically our need, that even if surrounding temperature is fluctuated to 27 degree, then also I want to maintain 18 degree. Okay, so I have translated my equilibrium point to 18 degree, and after that I am planning to maintain my equilibrium point at 18 degree. You know that how to translate the equilibrium point. Okay, so if I am at equilibrium point 18, then I want to maintain, but what happens, due to external rise of temperature, it is very difficult to maintain at 18 degree. Due to that reason I have to design some kind of control system or some kind of philosophy such that whenever variation comes into picture, okay, whenever trajectory is going to deviate or temperature is going to deviate from 18 degree, again I can come back to the 18 degree. Okay, and how that is possible, I need some kind of element and that going to dissipate the energy, because whenever you are going to leave the equilibrium point, or you can if you are moved from the equilibrium point, you are gaining the energy. So I have some mechanism to lose the energy, then only I can come back to the equilibrium point. Okay, it is possible to show that equilibrium point has minimum amount of energy. Okay, and one more important thing is that energy is always positive. So if energy is always, total energy I am talking about, if total energy is always positive, it means that their lower value is 0. Okay, so if we are at equilibrium point, at that time my energy is basically 0. Okay, so whenever we are gaining energy, so I have to make sure that I have to lose that energy in order to maintain the stability. Okay, so by designing control system, by adding extra subsystem, I have to make sure that energy is going to dissipate. Okay, so that kind of observation Lyapunov has translated into some kind of mathematical representation, and that mathematical representation is called Lyapunov direct method. Okay, because directly you can define some kind of function. I will tell you that what kind of energy function we are going to define, and what is property of energy like function or energy function, and what is an alternate interpretation of that energy function. And obviously if you are going to talk about the energy function, that is a scalar function. Okay, so what happens that stability of a system, whenever I am talking about stability, means I am talking about global, local, I am going to talk about asymptotic, exponential, all kind of stability I am going to talk. So we may conclude the stability of system by examining the variation of single scalar function. And several times I have repeated that why working with a scalar function is very easy, because whenever we are talking something as a scalar, then I can represent using some kind of real line. And in real line, if you see carefully, then I have just very limited option. I can move in forward direction, I can move in backward direction, or I am going to leave somewhere. Okay, so I have just 3 possibility, and due to that reason we are trying to translate our higher dimensional problem into one dimension. Okay, and obviously once I am able to translate, and if I see the rate of change of that variable. Okay, because now if you see the fundamental observation of the calculus means I am going to talk about the Newton or Leibniz, you can tell. So because it is still a topic of debate that who has developed the calculus. Due to that reason, I am not going to go in that mess up. I am just telling that either you can consider that calculus is developed by Leibniz or Newton. Both are same for me. So what I am telling that if you know the variable and know the rate of change of variable, then you are going to give the direction in which direction variable is going to move, provided you are in one dimension. Okay, and same kind of philosophy is basically applied by Lyapunov also. Okay, so let us try to see same kind of physical observation using some kind of realistic example. Okay, so during the classical control course, you might have seen that most of time people are using this system. This is very famous system. This is nothing but mass spring damper system. Okay, and here I am going to talk about generalized mass spring damper system. Okay, so what I am going to assume here, that whatever spring is no longer linear now. Okay, so linear spring we are represented like this, means if x variation from the equilibrium point come inside the spring, then whatever force, opposition force, that is given like k1 into x. Here what we are assuming that I am going to stretch spring little bit more, and due to that reason that is not going to follow the linearity property, and due to that reason I am assuming that force is basically, now I have k1x, and after that of k0x, here I have used, so same notion I am going to use, and k1x cube, like this. So could you please justify why I haven't I haven't means taken some x square or something like that. Why people has fitted that kind of force using k0x and k1x cube? Anyone? Any mathematical philosophy or physical observation? Have you understood my question or not? What I am telling, that why people has not tried this using this kind of function k1x square, something like that, or k1x power 4. Baby Dina, could you please guess?
No, sir.
Okay, Silpi, Iram?
Sir, something related to direction.
Yeah, direction. Actually, if we have odd function, then we know that if you assume this as a fx, then f minus x equal to minus fx. Okay, so if that is odd function, then if I press the spring, okay, then again opposition force comes into picture. If I stretch the spring, then again opposition force comes into picture, and due to that reason you are able to see that most of time we are going to consider the odd function. Okay, even if x square will come into picture, at that time we are representing some quantity like x mod x. Okay, so if somewhere x square will involve, then at that time we are going to model that kind of phenomena, or whenever some opposition kind of phenomena, some kind of damping kind of phenomena comes into picture, at that time we are representing using the odd function. Anyone has confusion? I hope that you are able to understand my philosophy. What I am telling, that suppose if you stretch the spring, again I have some kind of opposition force. A spring, they are trying to restore their position. Okay, so if you are if you are stretching the spring in this forward direction, then opposite kind of force comes into picture. So if their form is like that, then only I can able to tell that some kind of odd function comes into picture, or people are putting negative sign here, because if stretching is positive, then force is negative, and vice versa. Okay, similarly, now if this damper, and damper is responsible for the dissipation of the energy, and during the basic philosophy we have seen that if some element, if system has some kind of dissipation, then only I can talk about the stability, and due to that reason I have added some kind of element which is mechanical element, which is responsible for the loss of energy. So quickly I will ask you same kind of question. Suppose in place of mass spring damper, if I have RLC circuit, then which element is responsible for the dissipation? Quickly please answer this. Anyone? Silpi, what do you think? What is analogous element of this damper, such that I can make sure that RLC circuit is going to dissipate the energy?
Resistance.
Yeah, resistance. Okay, so same kind of philosophy is here. Now here, whatever we learned during our classical control course, that whatever force that is going to develop by damper, that is proportional to the velocity, and most of time in linear control course we are assuming that that is proportional to Bx dot, and obviously direction is opposite. And but here, since this is non-linear spring, and due to that reason force is updated like this. So what is the basic argument? That I have mass spring damper, and now I am not going to only apply a small distance. Distance means I am going to apply some kind of impulsive force, such that this spring is going to stretch, and this damper also has some kind of velocity. Some velocity comes into picture, and due to that reason some damping force is generated here. Okay, so I am going to assume that x is large and x dot is also large. Okay, in that case I have to represent that spring by nonlinear spring, and this damper like a nonlinear damper. Okay, and again please check, this is your odd function. Just put negative sign in order to maintain the direction, but again this is odd function. Okay, so because direction if you push in this direction and if you push this direction, so you can account this as just as a friction force. So you have to make sure that that is of opposite sign. Due to that reason, this kind of mathematical model is required. Now just you can apply Newton's second law, because mass is constant here, so I can apply F equal to ma. Otherwise I have to write the exact definition of second law, that rate of change of momentum equal to force. But here, since m is constant and I am assuming that is point mass, due to that reason I am going to apply simplified form of the Newton's second law, F equal to ma. And after that, one more assumption I have. I am assuming that this mass is only moving on this real line. Okay, it might possible you can assume that I have some kind of system that is moving in space. Then actually whatever dynamical equation I am going to write, that become little more complicated, because degree of freedom is going to increase. So here I am assuming that this particular mass is either moving in forward direction or backward direction, just for simplicity. Okay, so now F equal to m into a, so a is x double dot. I am assuming that whatever position that comes into picture, that is 2 times continuously differentiable, so that is subset of continuously differentiable function. That kind of assumption I have. Then I can write like this, and now I hope that you are able to understand this equation, that F and suppose I have applied some kind of impulsive force here, so I have some kind of impulsive force Ft, and after that once you apply, then opposition force comes into picture, and due to that reason negative sign I have. Okay, so anyone has confusion? And after that what happens? After some time, just after t greater than equal to 0, I am going to remove this force. Due to that reason, this is the dynamical equation, which is going to represent the motion of this non-linear mass spring damper. Anyone has confusion? Then please let me know. Okay, I am assuming that you don't have any confusion. After that, since this is mechanical system, due to that reason I have just two forms of energy. One is called kinetic energy and another is called potential energy. And kinetic energy obviously half mv square, and I am assuming that x is 2 times differentiable, so I can define velocity also. And after that, now what I have to do, I have to calculate the potential energy. And how to calculate the potential energy? So you can see that I have the potential energy. Whenever we are talking about potential energy, at that time I have I know the force. Okay, so force and multiplied by, this is distance, a small distance, that is called work done, and I have to calculate that work done from 0 to x. Anyone has confusion on this? Now just we have to integrate it, and after that I will get this kind of expression. Okay, so now let us try to see that whatever energy function I have defined here, so that is always positive. Okay, because x and x dot, even if that is negative, but everywhere a square term is involved. So one of the fundamental observation we have, that energy function, whatever mechanical energy I have defined for this particular system, that is always positive. So now Shilpi, could you please tell me that what is minimum value of the mechanical energy?
Sir,
From this expression, what is possible minimum value?
0, sir.
0, because I know that if I am at equilibrium point, my position is 0 and velocity is 0. So equilibrium point, I have minimum amount of energy, that is 0, and energy is always greater than 0. Now let us try to see the relationship between mechanical energy and the stability concept. So now we have certain idea of stability concept, and what we found, that whenever we are talking about stability, at that time we are talking about the boundedness. Whenever we are talking about the asymptotic stability, at that time we are talking about boundedness plus the convergence, means we are going to converge to the equilibrium point after very large time or infinite time, you can tell. And it means that precisely I cannot able to comment about the time. After that, third thing, where we are also going to talk about the rate of change. So let us try to see some kind of analogy. So analogy between mechanical energy and stability concept is like this: zero energy correspond to the equilibrium point. Okay, because if you are going to put 0 here, then I have only one solution. So if energy is 0, then there is no other solution exist, because everything is form of a square, and due to that reason we are telling that zero energy correspond to the equilibrium point. After that, asymptotic stability implies the convergence of mechanical energy to 0. Okay, because whenever we are talking about asymptotic stability, at that time we are going to talk about the convergence. One more important thing, we are also going to talk about the bondedness. You can see that any finite value of x and x dot, this quantity is going to remains bonded. You can take any large quantity x and x dot, you are able to tell that what is maximum value of this quantity. So bondedness is obvious, and after that convergence, we know that if I dissipate the energy, I am going to converge to the equilibrium point. And instability related to the growth of mechanical energy. Okay, so in this way, Lyapunov has give some kind of analogy, that what is analogy between the energy function or stability concept with the energy function. Okay, and after that they are telling that since I am going to talk about the convergence, so I have to make sure, since I am in one dimension, whenever we are talking about the energy, we are in one dimension. Please check it. Here you can see that whenever I am defining the dynamical system, at that time I have second order dynamical system, because I have two state variable, two energy storing variable, x and x dot. Okay, so any and energy storing variable is called the state. So I have two state of the system, but once I have calculated the energy, so this is again a scalar quantity, this is again a scalar quantity, and this is again a scalar quantity. So summation of a scalar quantity is still a scalar. And since I am on a scalar line, so and obviously I am going to talk about energy, so I have real quantity. Now I have to make sure that, or I have to comment that how to move towards the equilibrium point. So from the calculus or from the Newton's prospect, I have to see that rate of change of quantity. So I am going to calculate the rate of change of quantity. So what you can do, either from here you can differentiate both side, left side as well as right side, with respect to time. So if you differentiate this half m x dot square, then you have half m, and differentiation of this d by dt x dot square. So I have to do like this: d by dx dot or x dot square, just by chain rule, and after that dx by dt. So this quantity is x double dot and this quantity is 2x dot. So I hope that you are already able to understand this kind of things, how to do differentiation. And due to that reason, here you can see that mx x dot x double dot comes into picture. Similar kind of things I can comment about this. Here in this particular problem, you can see that I am taking differentiation. So either you can take differentiation of this or differentiation of this, both are exactly the same. So here I have differential of integral, so you can substitute x everywhere, and after that dx by dt, so x dot. So due to that reason, I have written this expression like this. Okay, one more important thing you can see here, that here v is function of some kind of vector quantity x and x dot. So in that particular notion, you can able to write that partial derivative of vx bar with respect to x bar, and after that dx bar by dt. Okay, so I hope that you are able to understand this point. And after that, now what I am going to do, I am going to just take x dot as a common. And what is beauty here, that if you are going to take x dot as a common, then whatever quantity that comes into picture, that is exactly like the dynamical system, mx double dot, like this. So if you just take these two terms in this particular side, then you can see that I have minus bx and x dot, and same kind of things I have substituted here. And if you substitute here, then I have this kind of quantity comes into picture. So could you please comment about the v dot? Binay, could you please comment about
Uh,
V dot?
yes,
So,
sir. Actually, it is mod x dot cube.
so
So
this is positive or negative?
it will be positive, sir.
Positive, because here because I have
Axis.
absolute value and after that cube is there. So
Yes.
either I have x x x dot is positive and negative. Irrespective of that, always I have v dot less than 0. Okay. So by seeing this, I can just able to comment that if I am on, so I have two axes. One axis is x and another axis is x dot. Okay, and you can see that in this particular axis everywhere x dot is 0. So somehow whenever I am writing v dot less than 0, it means that I can just able to talk about that somewhere if x dot is 0, so I am on this axis. Okay, beyond that I cannot comment. Anyone has confusion on this? Suppose x dot is 0, at that time v dot equal to 0. Okay, so somewhere I am here. Anyone has confusion on this? But obviously I can tell that v dot is less than equal to 0. Anyone has confusion on this point, then please let me know, because this expression is no longer depending on x, so I cannot comment anything in terms of x, but obviously I can comment in terms of x dot. So if x dot, any value of x dot, then that is less than 0, and once x dot is 0, then I am going to confine myself on this particular axis. Okay, so what basically we found in this energy function, that I will comment about this point in later also. It is strictly positive, means I am talking about energy function unless both the state variable x and x dot are not 0. So we have just seen that whatever mechanical total energy we have defined, this is our total energy, that is strictly positive. Okay, after that, that energy is 0 only when I am at 0. So this kind of function is called positive definite function. We will define what is meaning of positive definite function explicitly in the next part of this lecture. And after that, the function is monotonically decreasing when variable x and x dot vary according to the system dynamics. Okay, and we have just seen here that what happens, that energy is decreasing. Okay, and here what kind of observation we have, that energy is decreasing and that will hit somewhere in this axis. So up to here I have monotonical decrement of the energy. Okay, later page we will see that in some more specific system I have energy decrement like this, means everywhere I have a strict decrement of the energy. Okay, so we will see that kind of things, but at time being I cannot comment that energy function is monotonically decreasing. They will decrease, but after some time when they will hit this line, okay, when x dot equal to 0, then somewhere they are going to lie, they are not going to leave this line, because I have v dot that is like this. Okay, so v dot is less than equal to 0. Okay, not less than 0. So if that is less than 0, then I can talk about the monotonically decreasing. So in this example I don't have monotonic decrement once they hit this axis. Anyone has confusion on this? But whatever function I am going to construct, where I am going to show that with respect to both variable, system dynamics is going to monotonically decrease. Okay, and if we are going to show that, then that is called Lyapunov functions. Okay, anyone has confusion? So now whenever you have some kind of physical system, you are going to design some kind of physical system, then, and if you are mechanical engineer, then what do you think, what kind of element I have to intentionally add to that system? Nidhi, could you please comment?
Yes, sir. Sir, please repeat.
Have you understood my question, what I am telling? Suppose you are mechanical engineer and you want to make sure that you want some kind of stability kind of behavior. So what kind of element you have to make sure that that is present inside your system?
Like spring.
No, a spring cannot dissipate energy. Okay.
Okay, damper, sir.
Yeah. So everywhere, wherever we want some kind of stability or at least asymptotic stability or exponential stability, I have to make sure that I have some kind of element which is going to dissipate. Okay. So actually lossy element is also very important. If we don't have lossy element, then I cannot able to create some kind of a stable system. That is the meaning. Okay, similar kind of things, whenever we are going to build some kind of electrical circuit, I have to make sure I have some kind of lossy element. Okay, now if you are working on the chemical industry or some other industry, then equally you can think that what kind of lossy element I can design such that I can able to make sure that my system is stable. Okay, so whenever you are working, we are going to explore some new system. At that time we have to find that what kind of lossy element possibly available in that particular class of system. If there is no lossy element, then I cannot able to talk about the stability, particularly asymptotic stability or exponential stability. Obviously I can talk about some kind of bondedness, some kind of periodic orbit, that kind of things where energy just going to exchange between two elements, but I am not going to talk about the asymptotic stability. Have you understood my point, everyone? What I mean to say, that whenever we are, so due to that reason, whenever we are going to design some kind of truck, some kind of car, some kind of converter, inverter, everywhere we are adding some kind of lossy element intentionally. Okay, so lossy element is also equally important for us. Okay, now let us come to the some certain definition. One more important point is that here you can see that I was talking about the rate of change of energy. Okay, so I have done this kind of calculation. Suppose you are lazy, you do not want to do the calculation, then again you are able to talk directly to this term. How? Because V is energy. So could you please tell anyone, baby Diana, could you please tell me that the rate of change of energy, what is definition of rate of change of energy? From physics, could you please comment? Okay, I will give you a hint that how to calculate the power. Baby Diana? Any other people? Could you please comment? It is possible.
Sir, power with time. Power with time we calculate the energy, sir.
Yeah. So whenever we are going to talk about the power, at that time, how basically we are calculating the power? From fundamental of physics, you can comment. Just comment on using fundamental of from.
Hello, sir. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah. You are.
Sorry, sir. Maybe some issue.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Sir, power can be calculated from energy.
Okay. So what is relation between power and energy?
P equals to E by T.
Okay. So rate of change of energy. What is rate of change of energy? Power.
Yes, sir.
And you can see that whenever we are talking about power, so V dot, we are just going to see that where basically power is going to dissipate inside this system, in this system. So only I have one element where power is going to dissipate, and I know that force is here. Force I know that is Bx dot. Okay, so power into velocity. If I multiply power into velocity, then what is that? So sorry, force into velocity. Then what is that? Force into velocity. Then I can define power or not. So force is here, Bx dot, x mod x dot and x dot. So basically what happens, that automatically that kind of power comes into picture. Okay, and same kind of things you can see that is reflected here. Okay, so whenever you are going to talk about rate of change of energy, then lossy power you only going to reflect. So whenever you have system, then there is no need to do so much calculation. Just you can identify the lossy element, and after that you can see the force and multiply with the velocity, then you are able to get the power. Okay, so that is just from the physical prospect, so I am not going to discuss that. Now what I am going to do, I am going to use this observation. What we found, that I have to define some kind of energy like function. Here in this particular example, I was talking about the energy. Now what I am telling, suppose what you can do now, you can forget about this system, forget about nonlinear mass spring damper. Okay, suppose you have this dynamical equation, and somehow I have constructed this kind of function. Okay, somehow I don't know how I have constructed, but I know that I have constructed this kind of function, and I maintain the property that x dot is always positive and 0 only at x dot equal to 0, and after that v dot less than equal to 0. Okay, what I can comment about that system, means this original system. I don't know from where this mathematical expression comes into picture. Okay, I just know I have second order equation, I have created some kind of function, a scalar function, and after that what I found, that rate of change of that scalar function is less than equal to 0. Okay, so if that kind of things is there, it means that I can move towards the equilibrium point, and if v dot is strictly less than 0, then I will converge. If that is somewhere, that after some time if v dot equal to 0, then I can remain inside that region, and that is somehow related to stability. So argument of Lyapunov is, first, by taking some kind of physical system I have constructed this. Now you can throw that particular physical system. Just you can take any mathematical equation, you can define some kind of function, that is energy like function or Lyapunov function. Just you have to make sure that that is greater than equal to 0 for all x and x dot. You can see that both arguments should present, and after that just you have to maintain v dot less than equal to 0. Then you are able to talk about that stability of this mathematical equation. We don't know from where that mathematical equation will come into picture. Okay, you can take any mathematical equation, and that is true for every mathematical system, that you can construct energy. You have to make sure that inside energy each and every state will present, and after that you have to check the rate of change of energy with respect to time, that should be less than equal to 0. Then you are able to talk about the stability about the equilibrium point. Okay, so Binay, have you understood the philosophy of Lyapunov?
Yes, sir.
So what Lyapunov has done, first he has taken some kind of system. Basically he has started with that this nonlinear mass spring damper system, and after that he told that now through the system, just you can collect the mathematical equation and define some kind of energy like function, and you can see that even if I don't know the physical system, but I can comment about the stability of that physical system. Okay, so now for one system, what do you think, how many way I can construct this function, energy like function? Here, since I have physical system, so I have only unique way to construct energy like function. But if I generalize it, okay, then since I do not know that how basically I can construct this, just I have to make sure that Vx should be greater than equal to greater than 0 for all x and x dot, and equal to 0 only when x and x dot equal to 0, and v dot should be less than equal to 0. So how many different way I can construct this function if I have two variable? Baby Diana, have you understood my question? Okay, what I am going to do, I am going to again write the question here. What I am telling that I have some kind of system, okay, for you can take autonomous system. After that, now what I have to do, I have to translate this system into some kind of a scalar energy like function Vx. I have to just make sure that Vx should be greater than 0 for all x, Vx equal to 0, that is 0, and V dot x should be less than equal to 0. Okay, now what is my question, that I have to construct this function, intermediate function, this function, okay, and which will satisfy this kind of property. Okay, so how many different way I can solve this problem? Iram Taslima?
Sir, energy of a system is unique.
Now I am not telling energy, because what I have done here, in place of physical system, I have used mathematical equation. Okay, so this system, I do not know the description of this system. This might be coming, this equation might be come from finance, from the chemical engineering, from the biology, from the anywhere. I don't bother about that. Okay, so I cannot talk in terms of energy. Suppose this differential equation is come in from the finance. Is it possible to talk about the energy of the financial system? Iram Taslima, what do you think? I cannot simply.
Yes, sir.
So due to that reason, I cannot now going to tell that Vx is energy. But we know that if I have this kind of expression, okay, then what is a consequence of this? Finally, consequence of this, I am going to remain bounded about the equilibrium point, because Vx equal to 0 about this, and after that in this whole region I have V dot less than equal to 0. Okay, so from the calculus or Newtonian calculus, I can tell that I am going to remain bounded nearby of equilibrium point. Okay, now question is that how many way I can create this function Vx, and I have to maintain these three conditions.
Sir, then there could be many ways we can.
Yeah, infinite many way. Okay, because if you are going to take some kind of physical system, at that time energy of one physical system is unique, you can tell. So at that time I have just one way. Now what Lyapunov is telling, I am not bothered about this system. I just take any differential equation and I am going to construct energy like function, not energy function, and due to that reason I have infinite possibility here. Okay, and whenever I have infinite possibility, then we are in trouble. Okay, infinite possibility is sometimes good, sometimes not good, because I do not know now how to construct this function. So if I have physical system, then by seeing energy I can easily construct this function. But if I don't have some kind of physical system, I have just mathematical expression, then I have to guess how to construct this function. Okay, and due to that reason, if you see some kind of dynamical system, and if you develop some kind of new Lyapunov function, then you have new paper, because I do not have the specific way to construct the Lyapunov function, and due to that reason we are in very win-win situation. Okay, that now I will take any system, I will propose some kind of Lyapunov function, and that Lyapunov function, if they are going to show these three things, then I can tell that this is new Lyapunov function, and I can going to talk stability in that term. So even if some result is existing inside the literature, you can create some new function, Lyapunov function, and after that I will tell you that why we are going to construct the new Lyapunov function. In that way I can sometime whatever solution we are getting using comparison system, that is very bad estimation. So by constructing proper energy function, I can able to talk about more precise solution. We will see that point. Okay, let us see some more definition. So definition is that a scalar continuous function, and here continuity is important. Why continuity is important? Could anyone, could you please comment? Nidhi, could you please comment why a scalar function I am assuming that should be continuous function? Because now I have infinite possibility. So if I have infinite possibility, so I can tell that here that if I have infinite possibility, then discontinuous function I can also take. But why I am excluding discontinuous function? Nidhi, could you please guess?
Sir, for differentiability purpose.
Yeah, because I have to see the rate of change of energy. Due to that reason, I have assumed that is continuous function. Said to be locally positive definite. Here, whenever we are talking about local word, it means that I am just concentrating in some small region. That is the meaning. So locally positive definite if at the equilibrium point V0 equal to 0. So that is financial equilibrium point or chemical equilibrium point. I don't worry about that. In a ball, and whenever I am defining ball, so I have to define two things. I have to define the center. So center I am assuming 0, and here epsilon is the radius of this ball, and here in some state is going to lie here. Okay, so this is the definition of this ball. Okay, anyone has confusion? And again, obviously I am going to define ball. At that time I am going to take the norm, because I am in higher dimensional space. So this is the definition. Okay, so what I am telling, that inside this ball, if this should be satisfied, and if V equal to 0 at 0, means I am telling that at equilibrium point I have 0 amount of energy like function, and if that property is hold everywhere in that space, then we are telling that is globally positive definite. It means that positive definite, whenever we are going to talk, at that time we are going to make sure that Vx should be greater than 0 for all x, and Vx equal to 0 only if x equal to 0. So that implies like this: Vx equal to 0 implies x equal to 0, and x equal to 0 implies Vx equal to 0. Okay, anyone has confusion on this? And if this relation is true inside ball, then locally positive definite, people has given some name, and after that, if that is valid in everywhere in the space, then things are globally positive definite. Let us try to check this. You can see that I have taken the pendulum system, and what I am going to do now, I am going to, since this is physical system, so one of the way to create energy, obvious way to create energy is like this. I can see the kinetic energy and potential energy. So suppose this theta is very, very small, then velocity, because s from here to here, I can define like L theta, and s dot is the velocity along this path. So L theta dot, I am assuming that this length is fixed, and mass is very, very small, and whatever the weight of this string, that is massless, and at that time I have half m and velocity square L x2. I have assumed x2 equal to theta dot, and after that you can see that initially this my reference position is here. So from here to here I have potential energy mgl. Now what happens, that my position is going to shift by this amount. So basically now I am here. So L minus L cos theta, or cos theta is x1. Due to that reason I have mg L minus L cos theta, and if you take L common, then mgl 1 minus cos theta. Okay, and this you can see that whenever we are going to talk about the stability of pendulum system, I am assuming theta is very, very small. So this kind of quantity, you can see that this is greater than 0. This quantity is greater than 0. I am assuming that this is locally true, and due to just I am going to concentrate across the ball, because whenever we have pendulum system, we have two equilibrium points. So I am just going to analyze about the stable equilibrium point. So I am going to construct some kind of energy like function about that, and due to that reason I am in ball. So due to that reason I have written here that is locally positive definite. You can check here that for any value of x1 and x2, this Vx is greater than 0, and 0 only when x1 and x2 both equal to 0. Anyone has confusion? Okay, now let us come to the second example. Same example. Here you can see that whatever previous system, that is globally positive definite, because now you can apply any displacement. Okay, so I am not going to restrict the displacement and velocity, but that is true everywhere. Due to that reason, this is globally positive definite. Okay, now another definition just on the top of this definition is called negative definite. So just you have to make sure you can add some negative sign here and try to check that that is positive definite or not. Okay, anyone has confusion? So in order to make sure that something is asymptotically stable, V should be greater than 0, means V should be positive definite. I am writing in language of positive definite. And what about V dot? I am talking about asymptotic stability. Sorry, positive definite I have to write here. Positive definite. So what one can talk about V dot? Silpi, could you please comment quickly?
Yes, sir.
In terms of positive definite or negative definite, I have to talk about the asymptotic stability. So whenever I am talking about V is positive definite, automatically that will implies to that is greater than 0 for all x and equal to 0 when x equal to 0. Okay, now I have to talk about V dot. So what kind of things if I will talk about V dot such that x equal to 0 is asymptotically stable?
V dot is less than 0.
So what is meaning of V dot less than 0? You can apply this definition, please.
What, sir?
This definition, a function Vx is negative definite if minus Vx is positive.
V dot is negative.
Yeah,
Vx
negative
is,
definite.
yes, sir.
Negative definite. It means that whenever you are at equilibrium point, obviously V is 0 and V dot equal to 0. Okay, so just now there is no need to talk about individually. Just you can tell that V is positive definite and V dot is negative definite. Then your equilibrium point x equal to 0 is stable or asymptotically stable?
Asymptotic stable.
Asymptotically stable. Okay, now I have next definition, that is positive semi-definite. So a function Vx is positive semi-definite if V, try to see here, they are telling that what is difference, V equal to 0, that it should be 0, and Vx greater than equal to 0 for all x not equal to 0. So there exists somewhere, even if x is non-zero, but I have Vx equal to 0. That kind of possibility I am allowing. Okay, so you can see that this kind of condition, whenever we are constructing the function, Lyapunov function or energy like function, we are not allowing this kind of things. Okay, but what is significance of this definition? You are able to see in next definition, that is negative semi-definite. A function Vx is negative semi-definite if minus Vx is positive semi-definite. Okay, so just you can add the negative semi-definite. Now, Iram Taslima, could you please define the stability in terms of the negative definite, positive definite, negative semi-definite or positive semi-definite with help of the four terminology? Quickly,
Sir,
please.
for stability, V dot x should be negative semi-definite.
Yeah, negative semi-definite. So V should be positive definite and V dot should be negative semi-definite. Okay, then I can talk about the stability. Anyone has confusion, then please let me know. And due to that reason, positive semi-definite don't have means usefulness for us, but at least this definition is very, very useful for us. Okay, and why we have defined positive semi-definite? Because with help of this definition I can create this kind of definition. Okay, so I hope that now you are slowly, because these terms are frequently used whenever I am going to talk mathematical derivation of the proof of Lyapunov direct method. Okay, and why direct? You can see that directly I am constructing the function, and after that we are talking about the stability. Okay, due to that that reason name is Lyapunov direct method. Anyone has confusion? Next part of this course we will see the indirect method also. Okay, now let us try to see the geometrical representation. Okay, so whenever we are going to make sure that whatever function, energy like function we have created, that is positive definite, it is possible to show that their curve is like this. So in 2 dimension, I am assuming that v is function of x1 and x2, because 2 dimension it is easy to plot, because I have two different argument x1 and x2, and v I have third. So in using 3 dimension I can plot it. Okay, obviously if that is function of 3 more variable, then 4 dimension is required, so that is very difficult to plot, but at least I can visualize in 3 dimension. Okay, and it is possible to show, if you plot it, what you can do, you can create Lyapunov function like x1 square plus x2 square, and after that what you can do, you can plot between v, x1 and x2. It is possible to show that you have some kind of parabola, and you can just rotate parabola about the perpendicular axis of x1 and x2, then you can able to get this kind of ball kind of shape. Okay, and this is shape of positive definite function. Okay, so if I have time, then I will talk in one class I will tell you that more story about positive definite function. Okay, and if I don't have time, then I will refer the lecture. Actually that lecture I have already recorded. Okay, so here you can see that when I am at here lowest point, at that time v0 is 0 and vx is greater than 0 for everywhere. But as we are moving from up to down, you can see that v3 is higher at this point, and slowly whenever I am decreasing towards the equilibrium point, at that time what happens, that value of Lyapunov function, obviously value of Lyapunov function is going to remain same here, here and here, but they are decreasing as we are going to move. Okay, and it is possible to show that whenever something is asymptotically stable or stable, at that time what happens, we are moving from the higher contour of the contour. Means what I am going to do now, I am going to project this function on this 2-dimensional plane, and whatever that shape that comes into picture, so mathematically that is called contour. Okay, so contour curve, if you see carefully, so you can see that length distance of contour from here, that is higher, but as we move, then we are going to move towards the lower contour. Okay, so you can fix the Lyapunov function vx1 x2 by v alpha. At that time we are going to get some kind of contour, or in another way you can just draw the 3-dimensional things, and after that just you can project here to here, and you will see that v equal to distance of v equal to v3 is higher from the equilibrium point. So this is 2 different geometrical interpretation. One in Euclidean plane. Euclidean plane means what I have to do, I have to first draw something in 3 dimension, and after that I am going to project that into 2 dimension, and whatever 2-dimensional curve I am seeing, that is called level curve or some kind of contour curve. And contour curve, what is beauty of contour curve, as we are moving down, then my energy level is going to decrease. Okay, so now it is time to define the Lyapunov function. So if in a ball, I'm just talking about the local construction of Lyapunov function, at that time I concentrate myself only on ball, then Vx is positive definite, obviously this requirement is there, and has continuous partial derivative, that is required. Okay, because why continuity is important, because continuity, if I will tell that this is continuous partial derivative, then only I can able to define dou v by dou x, otherwise it is not possible. Due to that reason I am telling that Lyapunov function is such function which is positive definite and has continuous partial derivative, because partial derivative with each argument we are telling, and it time derivative, obviously that is time derivative is also required along any state trajectory, because what I am going to do, I am going to see the partial derivative of dou v by dou x along the system trajectory. Okay, and if that is less than equal to 0, if that is negative semi-definite, at least since we are just going to talk about stability, so negative definite semi-definite is also okay. Okay, obviously for asymptotic stability I need v dot should be less than 0, then v is said to be Lyapunov function for the system x dot equal to fx. Okay, because we are just hoping that using Lyapunov way I can just talk about the stability. So what basically we are telling, that you can construct this curve Lyapunov a Lyapunov contour curve, and after that you have to see that this function v, as we are moving, that should has this kind of direction, then that is only Lyapunov function. And in form of contour, you can see that as we are moving, then what happens, my trajectory, as time is passing, my trajectory is moving towards the lower and lower contour curve, and finally we will converge here if I have asymptotic stability. Otherwise I am going to converge inside some ball. Okay, so geometrical meaning is that the state point in seen to be moved across the contour curve corresponding to lower and lower value of v. Okay, if that is the case, then I am telling that whatever function I have constructed, that is nothing but Lyapunov function. Okay, anyone has confusion on this? So this is one prospect. Another prospect, several times I have told you that you can also think Lyapunov presentation in terms of the distance. Okay, and I think that is more transparent interpretation. And why that is transparent interpretation? I have taken very simple system, x1 dot equal to minus x1 plus x2 and x2 dot equal to minus x1 minus x2. Okay, now you are in two-dimensional plane. So what you can do, you can see that whatever energy function I have defined, they have similar kind of property like the norm. Okay, so if you are in some kind of vector space, what you can do, you can define the distance or some kind of norm. Okay, if you don't have don't in the vector space, means if you don't know how to do the vector addition and scalar multiplication. So suppose you are in some kind of set. Okay, at that time you have to define the metric. Okay, I am not going in that detail, just I am telling that you have to define the distance. Okay, now what you have to make sure that rate of change of distance, because distance is again a one-dimensional quantity. Okay, so and what is beauty of distance? That is greater than 0, that is equal to 0 when you are at equilibrium point. And if you are going to make sure that d dot less than 0, so obviously you are going to converge to the equilibrium point. So that is another prospect of the Lyapunov theory, that what you can do in higher dimensional space, using help of norm you can define the distance, and after that you can see the rate of change of distance. Okay, if that is strictly less than 0, then finally you are going to converge to the equilibrium point. Okay, now from this analogy, anyone could you please comment that why infinite many Lyapunov function is possible?
So
Anyone?
because different norms we can take.
Yeah, I have infinite many way to define norm in finite dimensional space. Okay, and due to that reason, I have infinite many way to construct the Lyapunov function. So if you know that how to construct norm inside any space, or norm or distance in any space, you can able to apply the Lyapunov theory. Okay, or stability theory, and you are able to calculate, or you are able to conclude the stability about the equilibrium point or about the reference point. Okay, because whenever we are measuring distance, I need some kind of reference point. So this is the another analog. Okay, so now whenever you are going to do your PhD or master, at that time, suppose you have to construct the Lyapunov function. So do not concentrate on the energy only. What you can do, you can try to see the distance of what is my space. If you are in vector space, at that time using help of norm you can define the distance. If you are in set, you don't know what kind of operation is applicable there, then with help of metric you can represent the distance, or more general definition of distance you can take. Okay, suppose if you are in Hilbert space, I haven't defined what is meaning of Hilbert space, but just I am going to give you a hint that then you have to define distance inside the Hilbert space, and again you can proceed towards the stability. So now if you know some new way to define the distance, you are able to actually generate new notion of stability. Okay, so with help of this, you can see inside the literature several places we are also talking about incremental stability, contraction, or these kind of things. So these are the basic philosophy. Okay, so now I am going to conclude the today's lecture. So what we found in today's lecture, I haven't talked much about the mathematics, but I have just talked about the intuition. Okay, and intuition is basically that how to construct or how to talk about the distance. That is our main intuition, that that how to construct the Lyapunov function, or how to talk about the stability. So using two different way I can able to solve that problem. More generalized way I can define the distance, notion of distance, and another way I can see the energy or energy like function, and after that with help of positive definiteness or negative semi-definiteness I can able to talk about the stability of the equilibrium point. Plus, but please be confident that whatever things I have talked, I am talking about the stability about the equilibrium point. Till now I haven't talked stability, input to state stability or stability of periodic orbit. Okay, so with this remark, class is going to become over from my side. If you have any specific question, then please let me know, or session is open for the questions now.